What's up, people? I'm Alex.
And I'm Topsy.
And we're
Think the Beat Podcast.
And today we have a very special guest with us. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes, my name is Benjamin, and I'm very happy to be here.
We're happy to have you.
Thank you very much. Appreciate
Thank you so much for coming.
You're welcome.
Would you like to share a bit about who Benjamin is and what Benjamin does?
So I'm one of the co-founders of Room 187. We've been running since 2021. It's an old school R&B game show and karaoke night.
Love it.
Room 187. So I've never been to one of your events. I've done my research to get listed. How did it start?
Yeah.
How did it come about? Where did this idea come from?
In terms of how it started, it started during COVID. So, remember the era where everyone was on Clubhouse? And people were like shouting into their mics and stuff like that. So
I love Clubhouse.
We were literally like, at the beginning of 2021, we kind of, myself, DJ Coatman and Michael were the co-founders. We kind of came together and we were like, listen, this Clubhouse thing is really weird and toxic. Like, how can we create some sort of platform that just alleviates that stress, like just like fun, like entertainment? So we thought of basically doing a game show on Clubhouse. So we'd ask questions about R&B and hip hop between 1990 and 2008. We'd get together two teams, put them on, how he had a little stage bit on Clubhouse. They face off against each other. We'd play old samples. They have to guess who, which song sampled it, or we'd play a song in reverse and they have to guess which song did it. So just like a game show element. So that was going well. We were doing that for a few months. And then things started to open up. Obviously COVID started to die down, and because we all have events background. So I come from a live music background.
Okay.
They
as in you play live music?
No, as in I ran live music events. Yeah, so I used to run an event called Vocals and Verses. So it was focused primarily on live music and poetry.
Is that where Cynthia Erivo jumped on?
Yes, yeah. So that was like 2016 or 2017.
Jeez, and now look.
Yeah,
look at her now.
Yeah, I know, exactly. So like we were fortunate in that period. Like a lot of like artists who are kind of big and established now kind of came through our door. So like Cynthia Erivo, Tiana Major 9, Ray Black, Shaka, JP Cooper, George the Poet.
Jeez.
Loads of people. Elmine. So it was kind of like a breeding ground for like all these like really dope artists. So that's what I was doing. And Mike and Coatman were running an R&B day party called Groove Theory. So we were kind of like, look, I come from like a show, like live show kind of background, that you come from an R&B day party background. Let's just make this into an event. Do you know what I mean? Let's make this a new event where we have a game show. We'll add some karaoke. We'll have like a party element as well. So it's like a different way for people to engage with R&B, because it coincided with around the time where there was kind of this R&B focus again. People are kind of like, oh yeah, like paying homage to like all these R&B artists and giving them their flowers and loads of R&B centric events. So it was kind of like the perfect time. So yeah, we started doing events. Started at in a venue in Hoxton, and then from there it just started to grow.
Just going backwards to paying R&B artists homage and giving them their flowers. Did anyone see Usher?
Yeah.
At the O2.
Yeah.
You did. You didn't.
I did not.
Yeah.
I was away.
You missed out.
No, I saw it from the snaps.
I don't think videos do it justice.
No.
I don't think videos do any concert justice. Yeah. How did you find it?
I thought it was amazing. And I think, so first of all, I went the night where, the auntie had
With the bangs, the auntie with the bangs that was bit.
and she was mesmerized. That was the night I went, innit? So that was interesting to watch.
I think we should stop calling her auntie because
She
she's
is an
I
auntie
mean, she's
though.
an older woman, so
But
I try to be respectful,
she
innit?
was ready for this
She
moment.
was ready. She came
But
from
people
Chicago.
were saying
or
that
something.
like he broke up her home. The girl was never married. She did an interview. She was like, I was not married. I don't know who that man is. Like, I'm
is it?
single. Yeah. And she was living her best life.
Yeah. She had a good time. So
I thought
it was sick. I mean, I'm interested in the fact that there's been a lot of mixed reviews on social media.
His
that's
outfits,
interesting
his
to
outfits
see.
the first couple of days were not it. Whoever
kept
his
saying it was
stylist was
Congolese.
needs to be fired. But the outfits going forward were good. I liked it. But why do you say that?
I mean, even that criticism, I'm like, okay, the outfits weren't good. I didn't pay for the outfit.
Okay, fine.
Not like me. I didn't like it the same. I was like, well,
Vocal performance, how was that then?
I thought he was great.
I thought it was good. I think,
And he gave energy.
Yeah,
he definitely gave energy.
Okay.
Like, I
sweat
think,
in bucket.
And he was like singing on key.
Yeah, of
definitely.
course.
Yeah, 100%. It's
Okay, so why were people like?
I think with the
wasn't.
singing thing, I think some people were like, oh, they wanted him to belt out every single line, and
whilst be doing up dance routine.
Dancing and you're doing
Nah,
10
that's
dates as
unrealistic.
well. You have
can't
to
do that.
preserve your voice a little bit.
This
Yeah.
is it. You have to preserve a voice. And loads of people don't understand this. They just expect you to be doing what you did in the studio.
Yeah.
But if you be doing these little tricks and these little belts here and there, have you got a voice for the next song?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And then it gets to like the 7th show and people are like, oh, his voice was croaky. Blah, blah. Well, of
what do you
course.
expect?
Yeah, what do you expect? Do you know what I mean? So there has to be a bit of like, give and take. But I thought it was great, man.
Yeah.
I thought it was.
No, but with any show,
enjoyed.
like you have to take a dance break. You can't be singing and be twirling and jumping and like it doesn't make sense. It's not going to work.
Yeah, no, of course. I mean, most artists, they do leave the stage and come back when they're doing costume changes or whatnot. So he did have a break. And to be fair, even when he wasn't there was still a spectacle. There were the backing vocalists that
they were really good. Yeah,
killing it with their vocals. You got the strippers.
Yeah,
strippers.
Yeah, they were like dressed up as at your one. I don't know if it was the same as mine, but they were dressed up as like bartenders. You know how it was like the smaller stage.
Oh yeah, I was right next to it.
Oh, okay, so the way they did it was there were obviously people sitting there and stuff drinking, and then they had the 2 strippers, but they were like dressed up as bartenders, so they were like serving
no, it was the same. Yeah.
And then they just backed off everything, and then like just got into the pole.
Oh, they were serving people drinks.
Yeah, they were just
like,
I
it was like they were
think
playing a role kind of thing. Yeah,
on the stage, right? I'm sure it was like
I think so. Yeah,
I'm sad I didn't get to go see it. Maybe next year.
That's really good. Like just hit after hit after hit after hit, and you realize what kind of goat he is.
Yeah.
Oh no, he's got bangers. Like I don't like his dance era, but you know what? He did his thing.
He did lean into that in his set. Like,
he did, and it went off.
Yeah, no, it did.
Can't lie.
Yeah, no.
Without you, they
oh my gosh.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
So I can't complain. I think it was a great show. I think obviously people are entitled to their opinions, but
money well spent.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I'm just questioning though, like obviously you said you wasn't into his dance era. Why?
I just didn't really like it. It was very cheesy.
Oh
my gosh. I did again, so I'ma let the beat rock.
Vibes.
Oh my.
That's it.
Baby, let me love you. No.
You know it word for word. So
yeah.
you enjoy
No, I
it.
don't know. My mum loves that song down. Like that's her favourite song. She'll be like, play that song again for me. She loves it.
I think there's a correlation, and I've been screaming this, and I don't mind screaming it again. I think there's just a correlation in black people not actually liking pop or dance music.
I like dance music. I just don't like that song.
From there,
I feel like with Usher specifically is maybe they feel like it's a betrayal because he's this R&B superstar, and all of a sudden you've shifted into mainstream, to mainstream genre. So it's like, it's like you're turning your back on the community or something like that.
But then how is an artist supposed to grow?
Come on.
But his thing was singing in the rain, yearning, ripping his shirt.
Yeah, he did that.
He didn't do that in Oh My Gosh.
Does he need to continue doing
He was
that?
like wearing some kind of like studded outfit and leather. Nah.
It was of the times though. I think that period where everyone was kind of leaning into the EDM stuff, and R&B had completely was in the pit. It was in the mud somewhere. So like, he
did his thing.
He needed to like, do you know what I mean?
And we've moved on from it, which
so,
we need to do.
Yeah, but
it was
now
for the
those
time.
songs are classics. they are classic.
I wouldn't call it classic.
No, I mean, that's true.
They are classic.
It will
For
get
that
the people
genre,
going.
100%, yeah.
No, when I think of an Usher classic, I'm thinking of Confession.
Yeah, but then also I think those songs are also classics too. Music is subjective.
It's true.
But it's not like they were trash enough for him not to play. He wouldn't have played it if they weren't going to pop
Especially in a European audience.
Did you guys hear about that song that only went like to #1 in the UK and he hates singing it?
What?
Pop Your Collar.
Yeah.
Yeah, Pop Your Collar.
What? In America, they don't know that song.
Yeah, they don't know it.
Oh.
Yeah, so it never...
Hey, ladies.
I think the interview I saw or something was that it's got like garage influences in the instrumentation, and that stuff never does well in the States.
Yeah. The American version of the album, I don't think it was even on it.
No, it wasn't on it. It was only on the European version. So Americans, there was this whole trend on TikTok where like Brits were like, Pop Your Collar is like one of Usher's biggest songs, and they're just like, what song is this?
They're like, they don't know it.
That's insane.
Yeah, and he himself doesn't like the song.
Yeah.
But he ended up performing it. But he didn't do it at my show.
I
think it was...
I think the internet was like, Usher, why are you not doing this?
So he included it, yeah.
That is so jarring. But then it kind of makes sense because it makes me think of Kelly Rowland. When Kelly Rowland was doing her dance stuff with David Guetta, like Commander, When Love Takes Over, it didn't do well in America. It just did well in Europe. But
that was a good song, yeah. Love Takes Over. I love that one.
And if I went to see Kelly Rowland, I would want to see her perform those hits.
I think she would. If she's doing it here, she would. I don't know about the States.
Yeah, definitely not in America, but
which is quite different. But obviously, at Room 187, I know you do your old school R&B and your hip hop and your slow jams, but have there been any nights where you do kind of dip into when black R&B artists have done this kind of dancey or pop stuff?
No.
Or you just eradicate that? Okay.
So do you keep it strictly old school?
It's so for the game show events, it's strictly R&B and hip hop between 1990 and 2009. When we do like some of the other events, like sometimes we have some late night parties, sometimes we do day parties, then we'll include like some more current stuff, maybe touch into like a few other genres, but it's primarily always going to be old school R&B and hip hop. Because I think it's just like a special era for music.
So will it forever be that era? Because as time goes on, we're going to move a little bit. Yeah. So are we going to shift along with it?
I mean, we've had conversations about it, about what it looks like in a few years, and what we have actively tried to start doing is getting some of the more current R&B artists involved. So we had Shay Universe on one of the last events, and we've had Bella as well, kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? So there's that kind of like intention to try and include some of the new school in the stuff that we do, and it's important to innovate. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, as it is right now, it's like there's a very strong nostalgic element that we want to try and hold on to, but also do it in a way that hasn't been done before, because a lot of people like play, old school R&B and it's like the same 20 songs, but with DJ Coatman, like he makes it a point to really dip into the bag and play some of the songs that you completely forgot about, or the songs that you used to just play in your house and you never ever expected to hear outside, kind of thing. So trying to create extra levels to like the era that everyone kind of talks about.
I want to ask, obviously, when you think of like old school R&B, it's our generation. So do you still target yourselves to like, say, the 20-year-olds, the 22-year-olds, or is it mainly like 30 plus?
No, I would say that our primary audience is between 25 and 35.
Okay.
Because I think that even the people on like the kind of younger side, like towards 25, still have a relationship with some of those songs. I have a sister who's 27, and she comes because she knows, like, she grew up listening to some of the stuff. So we do have like people like 21, 22, 23-year-olds who are just people who love R&B. So they're just like, I might not have been able to dance to these songs when they came out, but I know the songs, like, I enjoy them. So I'd say like we have our target audience, but I think the format of the show, of the event, and how we've kind of constructed it means that anyone really could come, and if you have some sort of relationship with R&B, you'd have a good time. You know what I mean? Like, it's not necessary that you have to know, like, you have to be like a R&B historian, but if you have that knowledge,
because there's too many of you lot about like that, and I'm sorry, it stresses me out because it's giving like, oh, you don't know this song, oh, you don't know this. I mean, how about I learn about these songs by coming to this event without feeling pressured to know them beforehand?
And that's a good thing, because Coleman will play some songs like, even me, I'm like, what song is this? Like, what deep cut is this? But then you've heard it. So, do you know what I mean? Then you go, like, you can go on your phone and find out what it is. There's so many like songs that even since running Room 187, I've heard Coatman play and I've been like, what song is that? And now it's in rotation. And these are songs from like 99 or like 2003 that wasn't, you know, the same 20 songs that everyone plays. It was just one of the deep cuts on an album that's really, really good, but I just didn't get that love. So yeah, there's like a discovery process as well, which I think is really good, because people talk about like DJs not putting, you know, DJs used to break, you know, new songs in the club kind of thing. And now we don't really have that.
Yeah, that used to be a thing.
It used to be ethic, bro. So
because you'd have to go and buy like the album, and you like lining up, being the first to get it, and you know, you want to introduce it to the people.
But even so, like when you do go to club nights, I remember hearing a lot of new music being played before it even dropped. There was one time I went to Heaven in Charing Cross, a very big known gay club. And in the R&B room, which is the only room I stay in. Actually, you know, I do go to the pop floor because I'm a pop girly too. But I remember, I think it was around 2013 or whatever, the Pussycat Dolls had just reunited and they played their new single, React, in the club. And me and my friend were looking at each other like, this is Pussycat Dolls, but we've never heard this before. We've only heard the snippet. Where did you get the license to play this full song? And ever since then, I mean, it did moderately well and like loads of people responded to it well, but I kind of missed that. I kind of missed the energy of just dropping new bangers where people have never heard it before, instead of everyone just playing
and that's how you get live takes because of like how well people are actually going to respond to a song, because on the radio they're going to push what they want to push, but what they push might not necessarily be what is going to resonate with the people. So sometimes doing those like live first looks, we need that again.
I think the problem is people don't respond well to it. People
in
club events, in like party events, people don't respond well to new music.
They want to dance to
and
things
maybe
they
this
know.
is something that's maybe one of the changes in behavior since COVID. But people want to hear stuff they know. They don't want to hear new stuff. So when they hear something that they don't know.
Yeah, and that is what's so irritating, because back in the day, it
wasn't like that. Yeah, this sounds sick. Yeah. If it was good, it might even get a pull up kind of thing. And then now you're telling your friends, I heard this new song, blah, blah, blah. Not now.
I went to see Sugababes last week, and they obviously played all their hits that people know them for like Round in the Middle, About You Now. But because the band have reformed and are releasing new music, they dropped new music that they've recently released and some stuff from a couple of years back. And a lot of people online and on TikTok have been obviously cussing them for not only just staging and like how boring they seem.
Oh, really?
But because they played some music that they don't know. And that kind of frustrated me.
Yeah. So I think with the Sugababes, people need to realise, they've never sung and danced anyway. Like, that's not their vibe. They don't run up and down. They stand. Yeah. And then they, like you said, they've reformed. They're not what do you call it? They're not a nostalgic band. They're trying to still continue their careers.
They're not a legacy act. They're not trying to be that. Do you know what I mean?
So people need to understand and accept that's what they're trying to do now.
So when they did play their new music, obviously fans like me who have heard it were like, oh my God, this is such a vibe. But then everyone who was there is probably here for what song? For Freak Like Me or Push the Button. And it's like, okay, well, they're introducing you to new music like how we used to do it back in the day. How about you digest it and enjoy it? And to be fair, some people did respond well to it. They were like, oh, this is kind of cool. My cousin who was with me was like, oh, what is this song? And I sent it straight to her. Give them the streams and the money because they deserve it. So it's interesting that we don't really do that these days anymore. But I'm just confused on why it's changed. What changed that?
Patience. People's patience and their attention.
People don't have attention spans.
It's gone
at all.
Like, it's starting to. So do you remember remember there was like what was those that social media? It was like Keek, and there was another one, 7 Second Vine.
Yeah,
so
I loved Keek.
So that was when like user
vinyl,
retention plummeted. And so you had, in 7 seconds, you had to tell a story. So like everything was short form, everything was 15 seconds, 7 seconds, 30 seconds max. And then COVID happened. And then I think people's brains, were like rewired during COVID, because so many things, like the way people do things since then is very, very different. And so now, like, it's only now really like with TikTok and with Instagram Reels that like the time scales have started to go back up. But in general, people are less patient. Because
TikTok now allow you to do 10-minute videos. And then YouTube, you can do your little short videos. You can
do your short film and kind of thing. And Instagram Reels is about 90 seconds.
Yeah, 1 minute 30.
Yeah, 1 minute 30. But they pushed it up, because I remember before it was like, I think it was like a minute. It was just a minute. So yeah, patience. People aren't patient anymore. People want like what they like, and they want to hear what they want to hear. And there's no room for negotiation. There's no room for compromise.
At all.
There's no like one in the discovery process or whatsoever. They're just like, yeah, I'm here because I want to hear my 15 songs.
Well, that's even like why the album culture's kind of died. Nobody has the patience to sit through a whole body of work.
Yeah, and that's why so a lot of the albums are like people get onto Chris Brown, including me, for like his albums being like 25, 30 songs long.
Too much.
Which is, I think is too much. But back in the day, albums were about 15 to 18 songs. I think Confessions is about 18 songs, I want to say. So yeah, and then all the songs are like under a minute. No, like 2 minutes 30, because you want the streaming to rack up. You want people to replay it and not feel like they're playing something long. So
I miss having those long form songs. I don't want your song to be 1 minute 30 seconds. What is that?
It's not. What kind of rubbish is that? For me? Yeah, you don't.
So funny.
By the time you get into the song,
you do one verse, a hook, chorus, verse, chorus, and that's it. The song's done.
Fans get shocked now when they see when albums are announced and all the track list has been announced and the duration of them. When they're over 3 minutes, fans are like, "Oh my gosh, yes!
Yeah,
I love a 3 minute song.
Like, thank you so much. Like, we're not doing this under 3 minute thing.
Yeah.
How did we get here?
No, honestly, like an average song was like 3 to 4 minutes. And so they give you time. If you got features, like your feature wouldn't even come until maybe like 3 verses in. Like the main artist has done their 2 or 3 verses, and then a feature comes at the end, and then that's when you're like 4 minutes. Then you do your outro, and you have your bridge. Do you know what I mean? You might have a little reprise. Something like there's
the art of music.
We're not in a good place.
Yeah, we're definitely in a gutter, but I feel like we're somehow trying to climb out of it
slowly.
It feels like there's a shift, but the shift ain't as
is there a shift?
I think a little bit.
I think there's definitely a shift in the respect where artists are now putting obviously more than 10 songs on their albums. Songs are more than 3 minutes. Getting there. Even Pink Pantheress, she released a song that's over 2 minutes long, guys.
Wow.
Oh my God.
And she said, "Oh guys, you can stop at me now." And it's just funny because it's like, babes, what were you doing in the first place? Come on, give us some real music. But I feel like we're slowly kind of clawing
back
out of it. I don't know how much that's going to change. But in respect to, again, everyone's patience, I think my patience is what the main bulk of the conversation is basically about, is I can't do night parties. I can't do night clubbing. I am a day party kind of babes. And I like to be in bed by 10:30 or 11, or at least in the house. I went to one house event probably around Christmas time, and this was a night event. And usually I'm just so used to day parties. Where back in the day I was a night owl, so I'll be out until 6 a.m. But the older we get, tiredness kicks in and the bones start to hurt. But I remember it being about 2:30. Me and my brothers were looking at each other like, "Bro, we can't do this anymore. Like, this is long. Let's just go yard." Because I think the event finished at 4, but we'd only got there at 1:30, so we're there for an hour.
Oh, wow.
By that point, we were all tired.
You're done, yeah.
I don't know if the alcohol sped everything up, but
potentially.
I can't be doing it. I mean, what do you guys think? I mean, how do you guys respond to night parties these days? Or like night events?
I don't really go to many night events, to be fair. I think the last one I went to was a Danky Rooms. And by 2 o'clock, I was on my way out. So, yeah.
What time did you get there, though?
I think I got there at like 11.
Really?
Yeah.
It's quite early for you.
Early?
That's quite early for you.
What do you mean, to get to the event at 11?
Yeah, you're late, babes.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. if I'm going to be late, I know I'm going to be late. But as in, I never plan to be late. Like, I try to plan to be on time.
3 hours, that's decent.
Yeah, so, yeah, I don't really do nighttime parties anymore. Like, I'm a daytime babe. Give me, like, a nice rooftop, sip some cocktails, be in bed by 10.
Yeah, so I was at Till 2. It's a house event.
Oh yeah,
on
still
Friday.
haven't been there.
Yeah, it's a good vibe.
And that's a night.
And that's a night
party,
thing. I mean, it's called Till 2. So it's, I mean, and initially, basically, they used to do it midweek. So they used to do it on like
a Thursday.
Like a Thursday.
Sick.
And it would be that, okay, cool. Because we're doing it midweek, we're going to do it till 2.
Okay.
So that's why it was called Till 2. So it would start at like 9. People would get there like 10, 11 latest. And it'll be done by 2. And then obviously after COVID, it kind of grew. So they now do alternate. So alternate has like a 4 a.m. curfew. So now it's technically till 4, but it's still called till 2. So yeah, I got there at like midnight and I was done at 4.
Nice.
And I mean, I'm not saying I can do that back to back. Definitely not. But I think the culture of house music, house events, it's a nighttime thing.
Yeah, I guess.
But you know, it doesn't really work in the UK because most venues, their curfew is 2.
Yeah,
very rarely you get one that's 3. So in the UK, you're in bed by 4 o'clock.
By force, even if you wanted to be out anyway. Yeah. So.
And then even like going out, where did you used to go out? Like when you were back in the day?
Oh boy. So back in my day, basically the hotspot for clubbing was in the city.
Okay.
So it was like St. Paul's, America Square, all them kind of areas there. So there was like, oh my gosh, there were like Leicester Square. There used to be a big club called Sound.
Okay.
Which I think now is one of those,
bougie places.
No, now I think it's now they sell furniture or like I don't know, memorabilia, like Union Jack dogs, like that kind
one
of
those
stuff.
places.
Yeah. But it used to be like a super club in the middle of, so like further down, you know where all the cinemas are, further down just before you get to like the Burger King and all that, it's like literally that massive super club.
And was it like house R&B or did they have different rooms?
Yeah, different rooms.
Okay.
So yeah, there was like an upstairs bit, there was a main space. I went there, that was like around the time where Funky House was in its prime. So there was, so that we used to go to that place. We used to go to a place called Departure Lounge in Central. We used to go to Revolutions. There were so many places.
Tiger.
Yeah, to Tiger. There were loads.
I never went to Tiger in London. I went to the one in Manchester. Yeah. But I think for me, well, when I was younger, like under 18, I wasn't going to no club, but some of my friends used to go to these like under 16 raves.
Okay.
But I don't think they do them anymore. Did you ever
there
go
used to be
them?
one in Barking, like Ilford Barking.
And there used to be one in like Romford as well. So it's like once a month they'll do like under 16 parties. I was never allowed to go.
Me neither.
But then when I came back from uni, Shoreditch was my like the hot spot. Yeah. And it was Cargo, which is shut down now.
That's Cargo's on now.
Cargo's long gone.
Yeah.
And then there was the corner shop, book club. But I walked past there the other day. Those places are empty now. Like no one is there. It's dead.
It's really it's
gone down.
Yeah, the venues there are on their knees, like
begging.
Yeah, they're literally.
Well, we had to beg to save Box Park.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is that? So they saved it now.
So they extended the lease, I think, for another year. But then when I compare Box Park to the one in Wembley, the one in Wembley has so much space and so many rooms and stuff.
It's a huge one,
The Shoreditch barely has anything.
Yeah.
But I feel like I see the Shoreditch one as more of a place to go, get food, hang, and then listen to live music if there's live music. I don't see it as a place to host events.
Yeah.
It can't be. There's not enough space.
Yeah.
I think they built it with the purpose of, okay, cool, like Shoreditch has a lot of footfall, so like we'll get like the after work people.
Exactly.
We'll get the people who are just looking for somewhere to get drinks and food kind of thing, and you can pass through kind of, do you know what I mean? But you know, the big ones, the one in Croydon and the one in Wembley are like multi-purpose ones,
But they were going to move to Liverpool Street. They were going to build one in Liverpool Street.
That's
why they were closing it down.
I think they should still build a big space.
Might happen. I mean, they've got the one in Camden now.
Oh, there's one in Camden?
Yeah, there's one in Camden.
Sick.
Yeah, it's like similar format to Shoreditch one, but a bit bigger. Yeah.
So they, obviously because they extended the lease, they've changed it. It's called Box Hall. Vauxhall.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, so we
Cool.
can get food, there's drinks and stuff.
I think they should market themselves as a place to chill, hang out, and get food, not as an event space.
There isn't, as we were just talking about, there isn't these dedicated spaces where we know we can go there and we're going there for a certain type of music, rather than just events. Now,
that culture has died.
Culture is dead. It's not a bad thing, but like, not even just in the house realm where Printworks is now gone and drum sheds have now come, but that's a multi-purpose kind of venue for everything. It's so big, but I don't know how I feel that everything is now just event and ticket based.
I do miss thinking, okay, do you know what? It's a Saturday, girls, let's go out. Like, let's
so
just,
and so.
Yeah. You have to pre-plan it. And if the event is sold out, like I wanted to go to Obi's house and I just thought, oh yeah, sold out.
Yeah,
Everything's sold out.
We've got more demand than we do. The demand kind of overshadows what is available. Like we don't have the infrastructure, unfortunately. That's why like Eden can charge insane prices for. I mean, big up Eden.
Let's not even talk about Eden.
Big up Eden, but yeah, their price is like insane. But they know they can because
there's nowhere else to go.
There's nowhere like where else are you gonna go?
They always have a queue, and they can say to you like, you might not get in. But people, we still stood there.
We stood there for what? You stood there for like an hour.
Yeah.
Damn.
Until I arrived for another half an hour.
And that's what I'm saying. It's not the place you can just turn up to. Like you have to pre-book a table. Yeah.
So we had an event in Houston. We're fortunate enough to go to Houston last November. So it was around the time where small flex. It was around the time where
big flex.
It was like Afrotech happened. So there's a big Black focused tech conference that takes place in Houston. So we were there, we did an event around the same time, and after we did our event, we were like, cool, let's just get to know Houston. There are so many, and I think this is across America, there are so many spots that people will be like, yeah, just go to this, just pull up to the spot on a Wednesday, pull up to the spot on a Friday, pull up to the spot on a Saturday, and you'll have a good time. You'll go there. They're playing all the music you want to hear. Do you know what I mean? You're surrounded by people that look like you're spoiled for choice. And obviously they're ticketed events and stuff as well. But if you want to go out on a Saturday and hear your music and be in the right environment, you can. We don't have that because we don't have the infrastructure here, because we don't have enough Black ownership of venues. So people end up are like, well, all we can really do is create events that are ticketed, and at least then people can come to them. But what it means is that it kills any form of spontaneity when it comes to outings, because you have to plan. You have to plan
at least a month in advance.
Yeah. No, it's true.
No,
because
literally.
If not, it will sell out.
Yeah.
I think with the before COVID, I think we did have more of that spontaneity. Like people could just say, let's go here on a Friday, let's go here on a Saturday, let's go here on a Thursday. Like Friday used to be the sort of like after work, let's just do something. Now people don't go into the office, so Thursday is the new Friday. Friday is just Friday, and then again, like because you're not out and about, there's nowhere where you can just be like, oh, let's see what's inside here. Like no, like the city's dead.
Yes, it is.
Canary Wharf is dead.
Well, there's Pergola, but you have to go on guest lists, and there's always a queue around 7 p.m, so you can't even get in.
Exactly. So I think COVID in a way messed the nightlife up, but it did create a new space for daytime events or like late evening events. I will say that, because before COVID, there were no, like, I wasn't going to day parties. Day parties weren't a thing.
They were
a thing.
Were they?
They were a thing.
They were. So like the first day party I ever went to was DLT, and this was like when they first kind of started. So I want to say 2017 maybe. They used to do it in a place called 28 West in Canary Wharf. So it was like maybe 300-400 capacity max, and that was my first experience of day parties. I was like, okay, cool. And then Recess will probably run in similar time as well. So that there was like a rise in that, and then as it got closer to COVID, more events started to happen that were day parties. And then it kind of became a thing where there was a switch where, a lot of the nightlife was beginning to die out. Not just because of the day party thing, but I think in general.
Well, we had a curfew. Everyone had to be in their house by 10 o'clock.
Yeah, kind of thing. Yeah, so there was that kind of thing.
So sad.
There's also stuff with London infrastructure, which I think has fallen through, like night travel. Crime has gone up in that respect. And women just not being safe and that kind of thing. So it's like there's a bit more apprehension with going out at night, and they just I guess it was just happening concurrently with day parties on being on the rise. And then obviously when COVID happened, everything just like a reset, literally like a reset. So.
And I think as well, people also like the with Instagram, everyone wants something for Instagram, and I feel like it's a lot easier to do that with a day party than a night party. Like night parties, everyone just looks grungy and sweaty, and but when it's like a day party, you get dressed up, you look cute, you have your like glass of wine, and you take pictures, and I feel like that as well has fueled a lot of this more daytime motives. Like Essex girls love a brunch. You'll see them all on the train on the C2C from Upminster going into London for their brunches. They love it,
and we love it.
I love it too. I love a cheeky brunch as well. I love a brunch.
Well, I think the brunches have started to, maybe in the black community anyway, started to die off.
Do you think?
Yeah. It used to be like every event was like, obviously they still operate within like restaurants and venues and stuff, but
people don't buy the brunch tickets.
Yeah, like a lot of events used to do like a brunch and have a brunch aspect, and now I've noticed when I look at like what they're offering, less and less kind of just.
Because DLT used to be called DLT Brunch.
DLT Brunch, yeah.
I don't know if they even still offer the brunch anymore.
Not really. Sometimes. But that used to be a key thing. It used to be like this from these 2 or these 3 hours. First 3 hours is brunch. Then after that, there's the after party. And I think attitudes and audience consumption kind of change, and then
because people, if you're gonna pay for a brunch ticket, you want good food and you want to get lit, and some places the food was trash and they were stingy with their alcohol. So people were like, what's the point?
That's the
I'll
thing.
eat before I come.
That's a British thing though. That's a British problem.
And I feel like some people wouldn't even just want the brunch. If you don't want a brunch, you don't really want to brunch. So it's like, okay, do I need to pay for the ticket for the brunch to actually enjoy the evening motive? Because I know I'd want one or the other. But then I feel like the brunch kind of things is transformed into more sip and paint.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's true.
Sip and paint is...
I actually have a friend. She's hosting her first event. It's Colour and Sip. So she makes these colouring books like inspired by Black people. So like it's like Black afros and things like that, doing just normal everyday stuff. This girl called Sapphire, and she's just like, I want to do a sip and color event, like come color in and sip wine and have a laugh and play games and stuff like that. So I think it's a good vibe.
What about if you're not good at art?
It's a coloring book, so you don't need to draw.
Some people aren't good at coloring.
You color in the lines, or you don't even have to color in the lines. It could be abstract.
I would like to show you guys.
No, we don't want to see it.
No. So I went.
I've seen it. I had a birthday party one year, and it was a sip and paint. Everybody else tried, because I even gave them a picture of what to draw. I don't know what you drew.
Wait,
you drew like a gremlin.
I wasn't even thinking about that.
I know, you're the one you went recently.
But then I don't even remember that I did this.
You did. And
did I do that?
You drew a gremlin. I don't know what.
That?
You were meant to draw a bird.
So how did you get to a gremlin?
I don't remember this.
It was like an upside down smiley face, and you're like, it's happy face, and he turned upside down, sad face.
Oh my gosh!
I never said I was a painter. I never said I was good. And it continued for years to come, including a couple of weeks ago. I went to my friend's 30th, and hers, she did like a sip and paint kind of thing. And everyone was everyone were artists. Like, people were so good. I can't even believe people could do that. And I thought I started off strong. Yeah. I started drawing some grass, mixed it with some green and some brown. And my friend was like, Alex, this looks good. I'm like, yeah. And then it ended like this.
Another gremlin.
No, it's not a gremlin. It's a sunflower.
That looks like a gremlin.
Why?
Show the camera.
What's sunflowers like? I'm very... That's...
disturbed, right?
I'm confused. What made you go with that process?
And why is your sunflower brown?
It's a black sunflower?
No, but not in the middle, in the circle, the brown stuff.
But why is its eyes like that?
Why does that blue eyes? It just happened.
So first, it didn't have a face. Initially, it didn't have a face. And then I saw everyone else's stuff, and I was like, okay, I need to like kind of add some vavavoom to this. I didn't expect the lips and the eyes to turn out like that. So...
You've vavavoomed indeed.
Yeah.
I did.
Art's not for everyone, man.
It isn't.
You're a creative. Just don't create art. Create other stuff.
I won't draw. So that's why I don't go to sipping paints anymore, because it is quite embarrassing. So just, following back on the conversation that I said, some people don't want to sip and paint.
Some people just want to sip.
You know what? I feel like most of these events as well, it's turned into, I hate to say it, it's turned into more influencer culture. I don't know how you feel about that with your events. Has that happened to you yet?
I think yours is different though.
Yeah, I think because
it's a game show.
Yeah. So it's a game show. I mean, we do get people who have some form of. So we had the Cabs family at the last one.
Had the Pastor Meerkat.
We had Pastor Meerkat before. We've had Just Jean. Obviously, I mentioned Shea Universe as well. So we've had like special guests in the game show. I think that works because it's like they're getting involved. It's like fun, entertaining,
audience
kind of
interaction.
Thing. Yeah, that kind of thing. But I think for us, our main target is to create like a community of people who just love like what we do. And like we've had so many people come to an event and be like, oh, I couldn't, like, I had to come solo because all my friends flopped, but like I basically made new friends at the event because everyone was so nice. That's for me, as long as I've been doing events, 15 plus years I've been doing events, that's always been a key thing for me, is like creating the community that I'd want to see. I'd want to be able to go to an event and be surrounded by good, like-minded, fun, like non-pretentious people. So
some of these events are so cliquey. Like unless you're rocking with your squad, it can feel so awkward. Like even if you want to dance, people just looking at you like, why is she moving so much? Like stay at home then if you don't want to have a good time. Like why are you here?
Yeah, like it's like people pay if you pay the money for a ticket, then you've paid it because you want to have fun. It's not a staring contest.
Do you guys have like a separate VIP section?
Yeah, so for the game shows we use a concert hall, so it isn't an assembly hall. So there's like downstairs is standing space and then upstairs is like seating. Okay, so basically if VIP is a seating upstairs and then obviously downstairs is just standing.
But as in like everybody can party with everybody.
Everyone can party with VIPs always end up coming downstairs because they're like, oh, that's where the vibes are, so we're gonna
that's like some of these events, it's like VIPs over there and that's where they stick all the influencers and it's just a bit like
I've never been, I mean, with respect to like people who like are influencers and stuff, I've never liked cultivating that kind of environment. Like I think I get when you know, like working with influencers and stuff and doing collaborations, all that stuff, fine, dope. Like we have done it and we will probably do it in the future. But I think like in terms of the essence of the event is everybody is supposed to have fun together. No one is better than anybody else. Do you know what I mean? Like we're all here for the same purpose, kind of thing. And so that's like for me, like personally, and that's like with the brand and anything I do really. Yeah.
Is there a difference between how you treat people in VIP and people in just general standing? Okay.
It's just you guys wanted to sit down. that's literally it. You guys wanted to, it's seating, isn't
it's
it?
Just
like,
seated.
Yeah, sometimes people are like, you know, sometimes people come out on a date and they're like, okay, cool, we want to be able to like be a bit cozy and stuff. But then like half the time I look up at them and I can see people standing up or I see they're like coming downstairs because they want to dance. So it's like giving them the option to sit, but you know, they don't have like flipping caviar like when they're, do you know what I mean? It's just an option to sit kind of thing. Yeah.
I want to ask you a question though. So since running like 187, obviously you would have started from ground zero. At what point did you realize, actually guys, we've got something here?
Like, I mean I knew it from
day one
but that's because I've done it before.
Yeah.
So like when I really, really love, and obviously there's three of us as well, but just speaking on me personally, I really love creating things from scratch. That's I love it. Seeing something that it was a seed before and now it's a tree. Like that process to me, like cultivating that process, that's like, I love that so much. So when the moment we were gaining a little bit of traction, and it wasn't like crazy traction, like, but when we were gaining a little bit of traction on Clubhouse, I was like, this has to be an event and it will work because it's something that nobody else is doing. It has like a serious USP. Like where do you go for a game show that's also a party, that's also karaoke, that's also just like good vibe? You won't find it. So
in different communities they do exist.
Yeah.
So like drag benches or like drag events, they do that.
Yeah, exactly.
But for our community.
For our community, yeah, exactly. So for me, like, and I think all of us, we are kind of like, yeah, we're onto something. And I think maybe it really clicked when we, maybe like within the first year. So we were doing, using a venue called Underbelly, Hoxton.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's quite dark in there, and you go
it's
down.
like a
I know
basement,
somebody who went to that. Yeah.
So we, that's where we started. Then we moved to Amazing Grace we did like some smaller scale ones in a place in Farringdon. Then we moved to Amazing Grace in London Bridge. And then the end of that year, I think it was maybe 2022, we did an end of year special at Jazz Cafe.
Nice.
And we sold it out.
Nice.
So we were like, all right, cool. Let's go. Like, yeah, we're locked in now, kind of thing. But I think from the get-go, I think we knew we had a really strong USP. DJ Coatman is one of the co-founders, and I say at the start of every event, he's the best old school R&B DJ in the country. So you literally cannot go wrong. And then now, and like we've been fortunate enough to like do different cities, do, you know, different countries.
He's international.
Like yeah. So, but it's just the beginning. Do you know what I mean? Like this stuff doesn't gas me. Like I'm not content at all, because it's like where we want to go. Like this is like tip of the iceberg.
So obviously, without giving too much away, like where do you want to go?
I mean, I think we definitely want to be more established we've done a few events in the States. So Texas twice. We did Toronto last summer as well. We're going to be in Paris at the end of this month as well.
Okay.
We're all Ghanaian, so we definitely want to do something in Ghana. We want to do something in Lagos. We want to do something in South Africa. We haven't really touched Europe. So like there's so much, like there's so many places we can go, kind of thing. And we want to be able to establish that. We want to be like the place that R&B artists go when they come to the UK. They're like, okay, cool. I have to check in at Room 187. Do you know what I mean? Like, and that's kind of the level we want to get to.
That's ambitious.
Yeah.
I hear it.
Grace.
You get it. You'll achieve it.
Yeah.
You've spoken it to existence now,
Exactly.
so it's got to happen.
Exactly.
How confident are you in what you've produced that people will think firstly of your event as opposed to Danky or DLT or Recess or Discord or this and that? What do you think, as you said, is your USP? Like, we know what it is, but in order for people to be like, this is the hotspot for R&B.
Yeah.
What is it?
I mean, I think with when you're building these, like with building a brand, like sometimes there's a level of impatience that you have where you're like, we need to be on top now. And that doesn't like, and maybe that's when, you know, people try and maybe lean hard into the influencer thing to kind of, do you know what I mean? But I think for us, a lot of, we really want it to be authentic, and we want the growth to be organic. And we know that the most powerful form of promotion or marketing is word of mouth. So by having that really positive word of mouth presence where people are like, oh, like you said, like, you know, people that have been to Room 187 have had a good time. Like, that's the kind of thing that builds trust in the community. That's the kind of thing that spreads and you know, helps you to scale up. We have like all the other brands that are out there, like there's space for everyone. I think sometimes
100.
we have like a weird, maybe like tunnel vision or like a restricted view of things where we think all these brands cannot exist in the same place. There's not enough. There's enough. There's plenty of room. So, and
you guys have scaled up. Like within the past like year or two, you're in big boy venues now.
Yeah, exactly. So that's like obviously like part of the process, and you know, like having special guests. We had Craig David last month.
Yes, he did.
We've had other people. We had John B last summer. Do you know what I mean? And then some other R&B acts, Lamar and that kind of thing. So,
and did you reach out to them?
Yeah. Yeah. So I just think these are the things that, you know, just help us to get like a step closer to where we want to go. But ultimately, it's really about like providing that platform for people to come and engage with the genre in a way that they wouldn't have before. Do you know what I mean? So that's really at the heart.
We are now like obviously stepping into planning more live events. We hosted a live episode last month, which went really, really well and had a good turnout. We didn't expect it to go so well.
Yeah, people were proper engaging. It was nice to see.
It was good.
Even online, people were engaged, and it just felt, I don't know about you, but it felt different to just a normal podcast format.
Yeah.
Obviously, normal podcast formats can work for some people, and for some, it takes a long while to grow. We've been doing this for a year. We feel like we've made a steady growth. But now it's like taking it to the next step.
Pushing
and we
it,
don't just want to be just behind a camera or behind a microphone. We want to actually speak more about music in a live kind of concept. What do you think is the best way for us as a podcast to go from a podcast to doing more live events?
I think the fact that I saw the live event, and that's one of the reasons why I was like, this is a dope podcast. Do you know what I mean? Like, even if it's in like early stages, I think this is dope because it's something I don't listen to that many podcasts, but I don't see that many podcasts in this country that talk about music in the way that you guys do, which I think is, in America, that market's flooded kind of thing. And sometimes it becomes a bit too charismatic, or they start, if they're leaning into like different things. But I think like talking about music, breaking down music, talking about, going back and forth with music opinions, I think it's not done here. And if it is, it's not, I don't think it's done very well kind of thing, or it has to be a specific person involved for people to be able to engage with it. Do you know what I mean? Like, so I think like that element alone is great. I don't think you need to even think about like, oh, how long do we need in order to be able to do a live show? You already have a community. So you already did one. So it means you can do another one. Do you know what I mean?
True.
And I think like even like reaching out to some of these artists, and you'll be surprised how many artists would want to.
Because I don't know about you, but like for me, instantly I'm like following. How many followers do we have? For them to even take.
But it just takes one person to say yes.
That's the thing. Yeah, you'd be surprised. Like you'd be surprised. Like if you reach out to the right artists. There are some great artists that are, there's no arrogance whatsoever. There's no like, I need to look at your metrics to see. They just want to speak about music. If you find one or two or three, it's just a snowball effect. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, oh yeah, this artist, I remember I saw the conversation with this artist. Oh yeah, and then this artist, and then it just snowballs. So yeah, I think even using the community, people that know this artist and stuff, just use that. Always use your network to begin with, and then it just do you know what I mean? Like it expands from there. But it's honestly, it's a dope concept. Like that's the reason why. Like that's why I'm here. That's why I'm here. So yeah, let's keep it up. Yeah.
No, thank you. It is nerve wracking. So I think like that kind of like dips into our point of what would you say for like the next generation or of people who want to start coming up with events? What is the best way for them?
What's one piece of advice you'd give?
I would say identify your community, your target community. Use your network. So everyone knows somebody that knows somebody. Like sometimes trying to do a cold call or a cold email to someone who isn't quite yet in your, do you know what I mean? Is sometimes not the right move for that time. Like we couldn't have had Craig David in 2022 when we had just moved to Amazing Grace, which is 300 capacity. Do you know what I mean? Like things happen in their time. So like use your network, identify your community, find your USP and lean into that hard. And figure out your branding as well, because there are loads of Afrobeat day parties, there are loads of R&B events, there are loads of house events, but what separates them is the branding. Do you know what I mean? Like we wanna see how people look when they come to your events. Are they happy? Are they smiley? Are they with their friends? Are they solo?
Branding is everything.
Branding is literally
social
everything.
media can make or break an event.
Exactly. And even down to stuff like granular things like brand colors and the font that you use, like lock that in from now, because then like you have a visual voice kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? Like people know,
like a continuation.
That's not a continuation. People know that when they see a black and gold logo, it's Room 187, or like, do you know what I mean? Where people know that when there's a specific text type, then it's it's DLT or it's recess or whatever. Do you know what I mean? Like, so having that look, having that aesthetic, having that branding, look is really, really important.
Okay.
And I think just try and be willing to be patient and be open to organic growth as well, because you don't want to be in a position where you try and grow too quickly and then
you can't manage
it. You don't have the capacity for it, or
and then it now flops and then people put off.
Or the foundation wasn't there to begin with. So once something else comes that was similar, then everyone flocks to that because they were never really invested with what you were doing anyway. Yeah, there's a level of patience to it, but like I think that if you're dedicated and you have like those things that really like firmly locked down, I think there's always a chance for you to do really well.
So we're going to ask you some questions. So obviously, you run your event, but let's say you were going to create your own event specifically for you. What would your perfect party include? 3 things.
An insane DJ lineup. I would make it so that each DJ plays a very specific genre, and they are like the top DJ in that field. So if it's a multi-genre party, I want the best Afrobeats DJ, I want the best R&B DJ, I want the best house DJ. I would say an open bar.
Oh, yeah, I concur.
I would say open bar, because some of the best parties I've been to are open bars, and I just think people let loose a lot more. People
are responsible though. Like when it's an open bar, you'd expect like people.
You expect more people to.
They keep it together.
I think people are like, because they have the choice, they're like, okay, cool, I'm gonna
pace myself.
Yeah.
What event did that recently? The one of Jasmine Sullivan.
DLT,
the recipe. Yeah. So that was really good. That was a really good concept, because it's been done before, but I think they did it really well. Yeah, and I didn't really see people on the floor or anything
at all. I didn't see anyone like
you had a good time and that was it. So yeah. Third thing, I would say the right venue. So not hot, not hot, not too big so that it feels like you're empty in a warehouse, but not too intimate that it feels like you're squashed or claustrophobic. Like it has the right sound, it has the right lighting, but not epileptic lighting that makes you think you're going to go insane. It's the right, do you know what I mean? Like the right kind of mood lighting. Yeah, I would say that.
Cool. And then what's one song that always gets your crowd going? You can pick top 2 if one is too hard. But you can play anytime, any day, and the crowd.
Joe, I Want to Know goes. This people just literally love it.
Okay.
And let me think. I want to say Pretty Ricky on the Hotline. I didn't expect it to have the impact it has, but every time we play it, it goes crazy.
Really?
Yeah, it really does. Yeah. I would say those 2. I know Coatman's going to watch this and be like, yo, I think those 2, yeah.
For the real R&B lovers, they will go off.
Yeah. I mean, the real R&B lovers is definitely Joe, I Want to Know. And I think on the Hotline, I don't know, people just...
They just love it.
Yeah, they just love it. Do you know what I mean? It's like, yeah. There's more, but I think those are the 2 that come to mind. Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
What about you?
Do you know what? For me, it would have to be Bow Wow. I never had nobody show me all the things that she could show me.
Like you. Yeah.
For me, that's like they could play that anytime, any place, and people know the words.
Yeah.
And they'll be doing it in one, because you have to do it in one breath.
In one breath. Yeah.
What about you?
Do you know what? I think it's between Moment for Life.
Because
people would just rap Nicki's bit down.
Yeah.
Or I'm gonna go a bit new school. Made for Me.
Yeah.
Because it's becoming a new R&B classic.
That's the new song that they play at the end,
where people will be yearning and crying and singing from the.
That was my number 1 on Spotify.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Damn. Going through some things, yeah.
Do you know what? let's not talk too much on Money Long. But like, the girl has a song for every aspect of life. Did you listen to the album?
I did listen to the album. I really liked it. I really liked it.
My favorite song was 30?
30s.
Yeah, 30s.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's a cute song.
Yeah.
Nao's sung a song about being 30 as well. I think that's
She
like
does.
a new
I
renaissance.
I liked
being
her 30 one.
30 something. Yeah. That's a really good song too.
But talking about music, what have you been listening to this week? I'll tell you what I've been listening to.
Yeah.
So Coco Jones, I don't know what it is about her voice.
Taste.
No, you.
Oh, the new one that came out.
Yeah, I love it. I just love it.
Oh yeah,
Coco Jones. You like, to me, she's like traditional R&B. Like, I don't like any of this new stuff y'all are listening to. Like, I like the traditional R&B, and she does that for me. And then also K1 as well. Do What I Say. I have a feeling K1's gonna be my most listened to artist this year on Spotify.
Do you like K1 because of Kalani?
No, I just like K1.
Did you know about her before?
Yeah, I didn't even. I was listening to that song before the remix came out. Yeah. And then when I saw, she's from Walthamstow. And then when I went to the Kehlani concert and I saw that she was the opening act, I was like, even better.
That makes sense though.
Yeah,
that makes sense that they were
they would
K1
collab.
Yeah.
The
video was hot as well.
Oh, have you seen the video?
I've seen bits of it. Yeah,
it's very steamy. But as in, like, they haven't done music videos like that in a while.
That's why I was like, okay.
Yeah, it's very intense.
Yeah, good for them. Good for them, boy. I like what they're doing. I like what Kalani's doing as well.
Kalani really supports UK artists.
She does.
Yeah.
So she's always here.
Yeah.
Which is good. Did you find?
Yeah, so a mixture of old and new stuff. So I was listening to some stuff from Brandy's self-titled album in 93. So there's a song on there called Always on My Mind.
That's a good song.
I was listening to stuff from Last Day of Summer Walker's album from like 2018. So a song on there called I'm There.
That was a good album from her. Good album, I didn't like the second one, but
what was the second one? Was that Clear? The Clear EP? Was that?
I like the one you're talking about, the one where she's like, it's the pink background.
No.
Oh.
No, that one. That's the one I didn't like.
You didn't like that one? I love that one.
It was alright. It was alright. Yeah. This one was like it was back when nobody really knew what Summer Walker looked like. It was like kind of ambiguous, yeah. She had some good stuff on there. Some Kalela. Don't know if you guys listen to Kalela.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Not the biggest fan, but I've got songs saved. I've got songs saved on my phone.
Yeah. But yeah, stuff like that. Some UK, I think she's UK, Tia Gordon. She's got a song called Cold Showers. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Elmine, O to Win, like some of the other Sweetness as well. Yeah.
Nice.
Quite new school. I listen to everything. I don't just listen to like one genre. I think the two songs right now that have kind of, actually 3 songs have piqued my interest. So I actually really like Nokia by Drake, and I'm not the biggest Drake fan.
It's a catchy song. He did his thing.
Yeah, it's catchy.
After being dragged by Kendrick, it's a good song to come back with.
We're all forgetting about it and shaking Yash instead, which is good. But no, it's just very catchy. He's very good at,
and
like,
there's so many sections in it that are like being used all over social media. Is it Stacy?
Is it Becky? It's a good song. It's cute. And then the other song that I've been listening to quite a bit is, do you guys know the boy band No Guidance? They're like a new school kind of boy band.
Yeah.
And they have a song on their EP and it's called Lovers to Enemies. And it's just so old school R&B. And I met one of them actually at some event. Actually, no, I was at an audition and he was coming out watching something. And I spoke to him, I think it was ZK, and I had to tell him, this sound, Lovers to Enemies, you lot have to ride with this.
Yeah.
Because this is what I fuck with.
Yeah.
And, he was very appreciative of it as well. So I'm hoping they stick down that lane because it was a very, very good song.
I'm excited for them because I feel like there's going to be a resurgence in the UK of bands. And I'm excited for it because there's a lot of bands are starting to come up. What's those 3 girls? The one that's black, white, and Asian. You sent me the video.
Say Now.
I like them.
I think it's their music, but fun where?
I like it.
Their music just isn't doing it for me, and they're very talented. They're very, very good vocalists, but the music just isn't hitting. And I think it's the branding. It's the very like girly pink pop and like, you know, block his number from your phone. It's been overdone.
Yeah.
You're grown. You're grown. Girlies.
I know, but give them a chance.
It's just,
let them land.
It's just, they've been here for a minute. They weren't called Say Now. They were called Me and Name, bro. They've been here for a minute. So it's like, okay, girls, can we kind of, I don't know what that label's doing, but it's not giving.
What do they sound to?
Atlantic.
I think they have potential.
What about Flo?
Oh, we love Flo.
Yeah.
Love Flo.
We love Flo, and I think they should continue doing what they're doing and not try to fit in this kind of new culture of what R&B is.
Yeah.
Because what they do so well.
Yeah.
Them.
The harmonies, like they're really locking down their harmonies, the matching outfits. Yeah. Keep it. Love it.
And they will blow when the moment is right. And I'm glad they haven't blown so soon, especially coming from the UK. UK, we don't really have bands.
We don't rate R&B.
No, we never have though.
Yeah, not really, to be honest.
Never have. Why do you think UK R&B is so underground?
Yeah.
I think Flo just need like 1 or 2 more years to really lock in their vocals.
Even 3.
Why don't you think they blew when they did a song with Missy?
I don't think that
Fly
was
Girl.
I don't think that was the right song for them to blow.
It wasn't my favorite.
Yeah, they've got other better songs.
And what's that other song
and
they have?
The Missy feature didn't do anything for them.
No, but Missy features haven't.
No.
Don't get twisted, I love Missy, but Missy jumped on songs for Little Mix, didn't blow.
Yeah.
Fifth Harmony, didn't blow. Now Flo.
I think having Missy on a feature is not going to do what you think it's going to do for your career.
No, because she's very old school. So the new gen aren't really...
Even like the Glorilla feature, for me, it didn't really make sense.
No, that was just in my bag.
It seemed strategic, didn't it? It was like,
let's just get her on the song. And
like with a really popular...
It didn't make sense.
It wasn't organic.
Yeah.
And that's what's missing these days is organic collaboration.
Like, I could see them doing a feature with like Sweetie or someone like that.
Yeah, but I feel that would kind of be similar.
But I feel like, but to me though, I feel like Sweetie is more their vibe. Glorilla's completely opposite. Like,
but then people would be like, why are you clapping with Sweetie? When there's Meg there or when there's Glorilla there.
But even like, but I don't even see Meg being their vibe. I feel like a Sweetie type person is more aligned to them.
I'm trying to think of a male who would be great with them. I don't know.
Yeah, because
a Drake feature. I mean, Drake features with everybody.
Yeah, I guess it's only a matter of time before he's like, I really love Flo. I want to work with him.
I don't think a Drake feature would harm them. If it's a good song.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or a Central C feature.
No, there's no need for that.
I don't think that. That's chalk and cheese. I don't think that would work. Yeah.
Opposite side of the spectrums. Yeah. I mean, they need something. I don't know what it is, but I just need them to continue doing what they're doing.
Yeah. But what they've got is a good formula.
Yeah, I think they're on a good trajectory, and I think they can all really sing, and you can see that they're really working to perfect their craft, which is something you don't really see.
Exactly.
Like groups do. Like before, you used to see like DVDs of Destiny's Child like doing rehearsals, and you can see them like they're going ham, they're practicing scales, all that kind of stuff. Like you don't really see that anymore, but I still feel like I see that kind of stuff with them. So I think it shows us
development.
I think they've got longevity.
Yeah, for sure.
Because Cardboard Box was a good song, but it didn't it catapulted them, but it didn't give them that.
Yeah.
But I think it was a good starting point.
Yeah, definitely. They're in a good place for sure.
We've come to the end of the episode. Thank you so much for joining us, Ben.
You're welcome. My
I hope
pleasure.
you had a good time.
We did. Yes, I did.
Well.
I did.
Would you like to plug your socials? All 4 of them.
Mate, I know. So myself, Mr. Benjamin B, follow Room 187 UK. That's on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, all of that. You can follow DJ Coatman as well. He's always got mixes coming up, and Diego Danso from Mike as well. But the main one to follow is Room 187 UK.
And when's the next event?
The next event is, so we have 187 and Park, which is our big summer event that we did it last year in Box Park. This year we're doing it at Studio 338.
Yes,
6th of... Yeah, didn't even set off camera, boy.
Evident.
Oh my God, yeah.
And our socials are at Simply Beat Pod. My personal one is Alex Aqua.
And you can find me at Aratopsy on everything.
Signing out. See you later.
Peace.